Just hold, then hold the fireworks. Initially, you thought it was a fun thing, right? They do it somewhere else. Yeah, the kids, you know, if they want to do it, pick the place. Did you set fireworks as a kid when you were?
Where y'all at? What's up? What's up, you guys? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Love Jones, what's happening? Happy Saturday, Love Jones. Happy Saturday. How you doing? I'm bothering you on this Saturday, huh, Love Jones? Everybody at? I said, let me pop in here and mess with you guys today. Brother Charles, what's happening? Happy Saturday, Brother Charles. I'm popping in here to mess with everybody today. You know what I mean? So let me jump in here and pick with you guys a little bit. What's going on? What's going on, Mystique? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Happy Saturday. What are you guys doing today, man? We'll wait for some more people to come in here, and then I'll start running my mouth. I'll start running my mouth. I got my favorite shoes. You know, I love Adidas, man. I'm old school to the T. And I haven't worn these shoes. They've been sitting. So I said, you know what, today, let me rock my Adidas. I feel like I'm in the 80s, man. I'm going to rock these. Is it Valerie? Valerie, what's up? What's up, Valerie? Good to see you. It's good to see you. Good to see all you guys, man. Where's everybody at? What are you guys doing today? We're going to wait for some more people to get on here, and I'll go in telling you guys of a thought I had this morning. I don't know. I watched this documentary this morning on Johnny Kemp. There's a friend of mine, Brother Chill, sent me this documentary, and he was like, check this out, man. It was about Johnny Kemp and, you know, I guess Johnny Kemp and his passing and how he passed away. And, you know, I hadn't thought about Johnny Kemp in a long time, but I know Teddy Riley and Johnny Kemp had a close relationship because Teddy and Keith Sweat produced that Just Got Paid song. Then D. Nicole, what's going on? I haven't seen you in a while. I haven't seen you in a minute. Yeah, Brother Chill, I knew Johnny Kemp, and his nephew lives in here in Vegas. Brother Chill just sent me a message. I don't know if he knows I'm on live. But yeah, Brother Chill, I knew him. His nephew, Rodney, lives right here in Vegas. Emil, hi. What's going on? What's going on, family? It's good to see you popping into the channel. You feel what I'm saying? Oh, that's Jamil. I didn't even see. What's up, nephew? What's happening? Yeah, you've been working big time. Then Nicole, you've been busy. Listen, so my buddy this morning sent me he sent me this video of just like, you know, telling the story of Johnny Kemp and how he passed. It was just so weird that and it just made me think about what artists go through, because Tom Joyner was doing that, you know, he would always do those big, you know, festivals on the boat with artists. And so Johnny Kemp was slated to perform on that boat. But when he went to check in, and, you know, here's the crazy part. And, you know, I talked about this in some other videos. As OGs, we got to learn to trust our spirit. We got to learn to trust our inner spirit, because something told him. Give me 1 second, you guys. something told him, something told Johnny Kemp not to go. Now think about this, you guys. Something told Johnny Kemp not to go. Call it what you want, whatever you call it. I call it the spiritual essence, when the divine intervention is dealing with us and trying to speak to us, right? Because I get like that. There's times where people want me to go places and I say no. In general, I'm not the kind of person that will go anywhere anyway. Like I just won't go anywhere. That's just me. I'm funny about going places in general. Unless I have to perform, I won't just get up and just be going places, right? So Johnny Kemp, he had a feeling not to go. He had a feeling not to go, you guys. He already had a feeling that he did not want to go. Period. Teddy talked to him, and he didn't want to go. He said no to Teddy at first, right? He said, nah, I'm cool. I don't want to go. But because of his relationship with Teddy, I think he must have rethought it. He rethought the process, and he was like, you know what? Man, this is Teddy, man. Teddy gave me my biggest hit, him and Keith Sweat. Let me go ahead and go. Thank you for the hearts, you guys. And make sure you hit like. So Teddy gave him his biggest hit. So I guess he was like, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and go. Oh, CC just asked me, will I be going live? Give me 1 second, you guys. CC doesn't know I'm live. I'm like, I'm live. Mystique, text CC and let her know that I'm live right now, please, if you don't mind. You could text her and let her know I'm live because I don't want to get off of here to let her know I'm live because I forgot to tell her I was going to go live. Oh, there she is. Hey, CC, I was just telling Mystique to send you a text. Okay, so I'm thinking about Johnny Kemp, right? His spirit told him not to go. Think about this, you guys. Johnny Kemp's spirit told him, don't go. It said, don't go. If you guys don't know who Johnny Kemp is, who I'm talking about, he sung that song, Just Got Paid Friday Night, Party's Jumping. I knew Johnny. I wasn't close to Johnny like that, but I knew Johnny. I had met Johnny more than a dozen times. I know Teddy Riley and Johnny were very close, and him and Keith Sweat, all of them, they grew up in New York, But there was a festival. And the reason why I'm talking about this, because Brother Chill, one of my friends who's on YouTube, he said, check this out, man. Brother Chill, he's into documentaries and stuff. He likes different kind of documentaries. So he'll send me different stuff, right? He's, things that he might not be sure if I've watched or I've seen. So he sent it to me, and I just happened to click it. I was like, dang, I haven't thought about Mr. Johnny Kemp in some years, right? So I clicked it on, and man, I'll tell you, man, I clicked it on, and it just sent me, you guys. It sent me because it made me think about a lot of things, right? It made me think about some of the groups that I was in back in the day, back in the 80s, and just some of the things you go through in the entertainment industry, the whirlwinds, the turns, the twists, it's just so many twists and turns to the music industry, and you have to try to stay stable at the same time and maintain yourself. Let me show you guys something. This will blow your mind. Check this out. This guitar, I know I'm talking about random stuff, but this guitar was given to me. This guitar came from B.B. King's personal collection that was in his house. Check this out. And it was given to me by his daughter. This was actually on B.B. King's wall in his house before he passed away. His daughter gave this to me. That right there. Isn't that amazing? To have a piece of history in your house. She also gave me a whole bunch of other cool things. I'll show you. Let me see. Because I knew Mr. King too. So his daughter is like, she's like my mom. I call her mom. Matter of fact, I got to call her and check on her. She also gave me this. Check this out. This came out of his house. This was his personal stuff, some of his personal collections, right? She gave me this. And I know I'm going to hold on to this stuff. I'm probably going to have it put in a glass case. But look what she gave me. She gave me all these pictures too. Isn't that amazing? She gave me this. She gave me these. Look what she gave me, you guys. She gave me some amazing stuff, you guys. Look at that. And then I'll get back on my story. These are pictures from BB King's personal photo collection, because literally she sat there and went through the box of stuff and gave me these. How many times does that happen? How many times do you see stuff like this happens where you get that lucky and you get cool stuff like that connected to a legend? This was his personal CD collection that was in his collection of CDs and his photos, and that guitar came out of his house. It was on the wall, and his daughter gave it to me. I went by the house, and she asked me if there's anything I wanted. Initially, I said, "No, Mom, I'm cool." I'm like, "No, I couldn't take it," right? Because I was like, that's your family legacy. But she insisted. She said, "My dad would have loved for you to have this." She said, "Because I know you're going to do right with it." And so I said, okay. And I ended up with that guitar. Tell me, is that not crazy? How many people you know have a piece of BB King in their home? Okay, so let's get back to the Johnny Kemp story. Corey, is it Carrie? Carrie, I'm sorry, Carrie. Carrie said such a tremendous blessing. Yes, it is. Rack on YT83 said, I have on here, IG has showed us how to be better YouTubers. Absolutely, family. Yeah, I don't know what that means, but I mean, I feel what you're saying. So listen, here's a story, and welcome to my channel for those of you that are new. So Johnny Kemp did not want to go and perform. Now you got to understand, you got to learn how to trust your first mind. And I said this to my OGs after Malcolm Jamel Warner passed away. I said, be careful. Don't just be so quick to go jump into doing things, jumping into pools and, the things that that could put you in harm's way. Well, Johnny Kemp, somehow his spirit knew. Now, this is crazy. Somehow his spirit knew that he should not go. His spirit knew. His spirit knew that he should not go to this. I think he said no to Teddy twice. I'll have to ask Teddy for even more details, because Teddy will actually tell me. But I know that he said no. But I think he said no twice, according to the story. And against his spiritual vibrations, because that's what that was, and God speaking to him, he went anyway. After he said no, he went anyway. Now he gets there. Now look at these signs. All the signs are in play. He gets there. He tries to board the boat to check in. They tell him that he can't. Something to do with his visa. Now he had a visa from, he was living in America, but for some reason, the visa he had was from, he's from like the Bahamas or something, right? And he had that. I don't know if this is because of that they're like, no, you can't check in. But they told him he didn't have the proper paperwork to check in. So he wasn't able to board the boat. The next day, somebody finds a body on the beach floating. It's Johnny Kemp, fully dressed. I don't know if he walked all the rest of that night. I don't know if he was discouraged because he couldn't get on the boat. I'm not quite sure. But thinking about the stuff that Teddy Riley said that he said to him about the way he was speaking, is like he was speaking in parables of like, almost like, I think our spirit knows when it's our when it's getting close to that time, because he was saying things to Teddy, and I think to Teddy that was like a sign that something wasn't right. And then the next day, he was found on the beach. Now, my thoughts on this is it was probably meant for him not to go. Not probably. Let's stop that. Let me rewind. It was not meant for him to be on that plane. That's a fact. It wasn't meant for him to go. Somebody said DM, by what? Elizabeth, DM. Oh, somebody say something crazy? Don't tell me we done got somebody on here this morning talking crazy. Elizabeth, somebody on here talking crazy. So it wasn't meant for him to get on the plane, to go to do that cruise. It wasn't meant. And he knew it. His spirit knew it. His spirit knew that no, don't do this. And he went against it. And when you go against the divine, because that is a divine intuition. Yeah, we always get, every once in a while, we get a few little peanut heads up here, right? But they don't understand. They'll get blocked indefinitely. When is this? Double OG, what's happening, family? Double OG, I think you came on here before. Well, good morning, fam. Good morning, man. Thank you, family. It's good to see you. Double OG. Double OG in the house, y'all. Melody, you got to listen to your intuition. I don't care if you are a priest, an evangelist. I don't care if you are a Buddhist, monk, a prophet, a gangster, a pimp. I don't care who you are. If you believe in intuitions and if you believe in the divine, which is real, then you'll trust your intuitions. When things start telling you not to go somewhere and do something, you got to follow that. We got to follow it. Right, Double OG? Come on. How many times, Double OG, you've been getting ready to go somewhere and something say, don't go. Don't go. And you probably be like, man, I'm going. Right? But then you sit and think about it. You like, damn, I don't know why I feel that way. Why do I feel like I shouldn't be going? That's that divine intervention. That's the universe. That's the higher power. That's God working with you. Giving you because see, a lot of times we don't trust what God gives us in our intuitions and in the ability to be in touch with him, be one with him. I think a lot of us forget that God made us in his likeness and we're one. So I think a lot of us forget that those intuitions is the divine speaking to us, but it's also a test because he gives us free will. And the free will says, do what the hell you want to do, when you want to do it. And because we're human, we go, shit, man, I'm going to run my free will. I'm a man, you know what I'm saying? I'm a strong woman. I'm going to do whatever I want to do. Free will. God gave it to me. But then there's that conversation he has with us on the spiritual side. Like, listen, I'm talking to you. Don't go. Holly, what's up, Holly? It's good to see you, Holly. Elizabeth says, I obey my intuitions. Rock on YouTube 83 said, and every time I go, you go on a dummy mission. What? And every time you go. Yes. Rock on YT 83. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Rock on. You're right. You know what? I didn't even look at it like that because that's deep that you said it that way. That really is a dummy mission. That's a cool, profound way to put it because that's really what it is. Because if your intuitions tell you don't do something and you do it, that's pretty much going on a dummy mission. I hadn't even thought about it like that. Rock on, YT. That's deep. That's really another way to look at it. You going on a dummy mission because you really don't know what's about to happen. That's like front line in a head-on war that you don't really know what you're fighting. It's like fighting something you can't see. Rock on. That's a great way to put it. That just gave me another way to look at it because I had never looked at it that way. That is truly a dummy mission. Crash dummy, Elizabeth said. Yeah, Rock on said that's deep. Mama Sean said, we sure do have to listen to our knowing. Well, I think we forget, Mama Sean, we're made in his likeness. And he gives us the spiritual prowess to feel these things. Brother Time said, what's up, Brother Time? Brother Time said, families, your health, and all upcoming opportunities that God has coming your way. Never lose faith with the Lord and especially in yourself. Absolutely. Thank you, Time. Thank you for that. Time always comes in and says some really, really solid stuff. Rock on, OG. I love it when cats come in and say some things that help me expand on the conversation. Chaff. Chad, what's up, brother Chad? DJ Brightside, welcome, man. It's good to see you here, family. No, man, and it just made, you know what it did, man? It just made me, thank you, Brother Chill, for sending me that, because what it did was, it made me think about myself. And it made me think about just the groups growing up and the groups I was in. And it just took me back, man. It just took me back. And I know, it sparked some other thoughts that had nothing to do with someone passing away, but it just made, because I thought about everything Johnny Kemp went through. The fact that he was searching for the right sound. He was already in another group back in the day, and they moved to New York and ended up getting a deal with a record label called Sounds of New York Records, and they had a Billboard Top 200 record, and then he wasn't happy because he felt like he wanted a certain sound, so he left the group and went solo. So his whole quest was him searching. But notice one thing he was doing that he stopped doing. He followed his inner spirit all those times that led him to the right opportunities. He ended up getting a great solo deal. The group that he was in when they moved to New York, they all said, we're going to move. They ended up getting a record deal with a pretty prominent label at that time. He followed his intuitions all those single times. The only time he didn't follow his intuition is when something told him not to go, and he said no twice, and he decided to go against it. And he's no longer here. Time said, Stone, does the music industry take your individuality away from you to create the music you don't want to create? Just a question. Time, yes, they do. Like, for instance, labels will especially back in the day, and still kind of sort of now. Back in the day, they would take a group, like, for instance, when the group I was in, Trey, when we got signed to Dick Scott Entertainment, which had the New Kids on the Block. They were managed Dougie Fresh, Brenda K. Starr, Snap, Perfect Gentleman, Marky Mark. When they signed us, the management started telling us what they wanted us to do. Like, we want you to do these kind of songs. Yeah, go back and write this kind of song and do this and dress this way. So they love to take you and mold you into something they feel like is going to be profitable and it's going to work. They love doing that. And when you're trying to get into the business, like Johnny Kemp said, he just went along with it because he didn't want to make no waves. And that's what we do. We try not to make waves, so we're humble and we close our mouths and we just listen. Yes, Brother Time, I knew Maurice Starr from when I was a kid. He was the producer. He was going to be the main producer on all of our records. So I've known Maurice since I was 15, because he was producing all the groups with Dick Scott Entertainment. So yeah, Brother Time, they love to take you. This is why I don't really do that with artists. Now, I'm more of a, if you're not talking about nothing, like if I take an artist on, I say, listen, man, you ain't talking about shit. You need to write some real records, bro. Like, that shit you talking, you ain't gonna be able to play Vegas. I'll say that to an artist. I'll be like, man, look at your lyrics, bro. Like, especially if they're a rapper. I'm like, bro, is this really how you live every day? Come on, man. Come on. Let me see you dig deep. If you want me to get behind you as a rapper, then you got to, lyrically, you got to be talking about something. Or I'm not going to spend my time on wasted energy. When you put negative energy out into the universe, I don't want to be involved with that. Now, I don't try to change an artist, but I will say that. I'll say, bro, like if you ain't really living like that every day and that's not who you really are, don't even talk about it. I said that to many artists. And I tell them, if you don't agree with that, then I don't want to work with you. Now, I don't want to change you, but I know by looking at you, you don't really live that way. Because if you live that way, you'd be getting your money that way. And if you were getting your money that way, we wouldn't even be talking. You feel me, Rock On? Track Like Productions say we not here to go along to get along. We are set apart and shake them up. Yes, Track Life Productions, facts. We're not here to go along. We got to set the standards for the next generation. Brother Time said, I remember Maurice Starr in Boston on the hill when he had the studio up there near the Timothy in the church with New Edition. Wow. Time. That's deep. Yo, Time, let me tell you something. Rock On YT83 said, liabilities. Rock On, you already know. Right out the gate, liability. Why do you think these companies be taking out life insurance policies on these rappers? People think they're doing tricky stuff. No, they already know these cats are going to be crash out. And they're like, we got to protect our investment. They already know. It's going to be a crash out situation. We got to take out. Now, I would let the artists know if that's what I was going to do. I do think it's weird that most of these artists don't know that, but they know it's going to be a crash out situation. Track Like Production said, that's real. Cats write checks with their mouth. Their ass cannot cash. Man, come on, Track Like Productions. You already know, Track Like. That is the truth. Brother Tom, I'm about to share something with you. Denny Nicole said, yes, that's why I love you. You're very spiritual. Yeah, Denny, listen. Although I'm not perfect, every day I wake up. P, what's up, P? P said business. Every day I wake up, I work on being better and better as a man and as a human every day. That is my real quest, because I'm not perfect and none of us are, but I'm very spiritual and I wake up every day working on being a better human first, then man and person and spirit. Brother Time, listen. Okay, so you remember where he had that studio at, right? Maurice Starr. So you should remember my friend Ralph B. Stacy, the producer, because Maurice Starr had a studio in Boston, and Ralph B. Stacy also had one. He's a good friend of mine. Now, yesterday, I don't know if you guys saw the interview. I did an interview on a good friend of mine, Drayton the Boss, aka Pit Boss, who was Ralph B. Stacy's partner, and they did a lot of projects together, produced a lot of stuff together. So Ralph B. Stacy was his partner, but Ralph B. had a studio in Boston right along with Maurice Starr at that same time. It was on another side of town. Elizabeth said, none of us are perfect. We are human, but nevertheless, we need to be good, a good human. Exactly. Sweet Rain said, how's everyone doing on this beautiful? Hey, Sweet Rain, we're doing good. It's good to see you in here. Listen, we all fall short of the glory of everything, right? But when you know that there's things to work on, then you work on those things to be a better person. Because at the end of the day, I've watched family members pass away. And I watched them say things like, if I could do it again, I would, I wish I could apologize to this person, but they're gone. And, I just wish I can live. I've watched family members say this to me. I wish I could live another day. Because here's the thing, you guys. All bets are off when it's your last day on earth. I met one person in my life that changed the way I look at leaving this earth. And I hope she doesn't mind me saying it. I'm going to say it. And I hope she don't get disappointed in me saying this. It's one of my moderators. But I have to say this because her father by watching him taught me a lot about when the day comes, when that day comes. And I think I mentioned this before. When I watch this man, I talk to him on camera, just like I'm looking at you guys, right? Exactly how I'm talking to you guys. I was talking to her father, just like this, right? Exactly how I'm talking to you guys. Her dad, right? So I'm talking to him. Now, this is the day before her dad passed away. Cambodian Mystique, my moderator, one of my moderators. Her dad, by watching her dad, taught me so much about the last days. He's the first person in my whole life I ever met. It was a day before this man passed away, and he made a decision. He could have actually still been here. And I only share this with you, and this is not to disrespect you, Cambodian Mystique. I say this because I learned a lot from that one day. This man was smiling. Her father was smiling as he was speaking to me. And I told him, I'm going to miss working on the farm with you. And I was trying to be positive to give him inspiration. I said, hurry up and get better so we can go on the farm and work. And, and I'm saying stuff to really keep his spirits up. But, he was smiling the whole time. Serious smile, not nothing fake, but a real smile. He had made his mind up that he was ready to go. And he didn't even have to go. He just got tired of the pain. But what he taught me that day is there is nothing, number one, to be afraid of passing. Because like I said, I've had family members. I've met people to say they don't, when it's time for me to pass away, I'm ready. Everybody says that. Everybody says that. Until that day comes and you realize I've watched family members cry while I'm looking at them because they were not ready to go and they didn't want to go. Chad Coffey said he found peace. Chad, let me tell you something. This man, I ain't never seen nothing like it. He was smiling. And he said one thing to me, and he said to everybody in that room, his exact words while smiling, see you in the next life. How many people you guys meet say that on their deathbeds? All of us have had family members passing, and we went to the hospital, and we're standing there, and they're crying, and everybody in the room is crying, and they don't want to go. My mother used to say to me, when God calls me, I'm ready to go. That's what my mom used to say. I grew up hearing her say it every single day. When it was time for my mom to go, she was not ready to go. Now, I don't know if my mom had forgotten what she had spoke every single day, like a mantra. Every day, my mom said, when it's my time, when God calls me, I'm ready. But when it was my mom's time to go, she was not ready to go. She wasn't ready to go, you guys. She was not ready to go. But I watched Cambodian Mystique's father talk to me on camera, like we're talking. And he smiled, though he did not break his smile. The room was full of people. He was smiling at me the whole time. And I told him I love him. And I was talking about us still doing work on the farm to inspire him to try to, keep faith. But he had made up his mind that he was ready to go. That taught me a wise lesson of when it's time to go and you have to choose and accept it, there's nothing you can do anyway. So as we are here today, I know it sounds so cliche, but if we don't love each other, at least have respect for each other. If we don't respect each other, at least have love for each other. We got to have something because we all are going to visit that moment where we're going to reflect on how we did people, how we treated people. We're all going to go through this. We're going to go through we're going to go through all those calculations in our mind every day. It's going to be like a computer. Speeding up. You're going to be thinking about all the people you've done wrong. You don't have to be on your deathbed to think about it. How many of us think sometimes you'll be at home and you'll start thinking about the people you might have wronged? And then you start going, damn, let me reach out to that person, right? You might be like, and then you can't find that person, or you don't have a number on that person anymore. And then you pray to God and ask God for forgiveness and hoping that that person forgives you. Because at the end of the day, we're still human. And it doesn't matter how numb a person becomes of anything, inside there's still elements that still tells you that shit ain't right when it's not right. And until you become one with yourself, you will never see that until that day comes where then you're trying to calculate how many people you can say sorry to on your last day. That's not something I want to do. I know for sure that whenever that day comes and it's my last day, I don't want to be thinking about all the people I've wronged, because I want to go back and correct all that before that shit happens. There's times I will sit down and think about anybody I've ever said anything crazy to, done anything crazy to, and I go, okay, did I say something crazy? And I will literally text people and be like, hey, remember 10 years ago? And they're like, no. Yeah, I said this crazy stuff to you. Or I upset you over something that wasn't even worth it. I'm sorry. And they're like, I can't even remember. I say, well, good. Well, I'm reminding you of it. I just want to say that I'm sorry, man. And some people remember it and some of them don't. Now, I don't have a lot of that, but I'm human. We've all said and done things that we shouldn't have said or done to people, right? So I went back and apologized to old friends, maybe old classmates, because I don't want to be at the point where I'm making peace at that time that we all have to face. And then now I feel like I can't now leave the earth with, like, I didn't get to say sorry. Her father lived with no regrets. He was very quiet spoken. He spoke, but not much. But when he spoke, he always had something to say. I'm just showing you the divine intervention that God gives us. But at the same time, when you do have to face that situation, how do you deal with it, knowing that you maybe done a lot of fucked up shit to people, said a lot of fucked up shit. It's just like, when people are bullies. I think bullies should go back and apologize to all the people they bullied when they were growing up. That should be something that they do. Because when it's time to meet their maker, I promise you guys, they are going to do that. They are going to go, damn, I wish I could just go back and apologize. Sometimes you can't, because those people are not there. You could pray to God and ask God to forgive you. But it's different when you actually reach out to that person and say, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Forgive me. Please forgive me. I can't even remember what I did, but I know I might have done some fucked up shit. Forgive me. And there's nothing wrong with that. So the Johnny Kemp thing this morning, when my buddy Chill sent me the video, it just took me in a whirlwind of thought of my own life, of people around me, their lives. And the moment when you realize that, did he realize that this was it for him? They said he fell and hit his head, and there was evidence that he fell on a rock and hit his head. But then some people feel like it might have been foul play and somebody purposely did that. But I don't know. I think that his spirit knew that if he went, that would be it, because he did not want to go. Learn to trust your intuitions, you guys. That's God speaking. He gave us the sixth sense. We just don't use it. And that means you use it in everything, even dealing with people in your everyday life. I don't hang with a lot of people. When my buddy Pit Boss was here yesterday and Delane came, I hadn't seen Delane. I've known Delane for years, but I hadn't seen Delane in 22 years, his manager. But we had a great conversation off camera and we talked. Now, Pit Boss, you know, Drake Boss, we always keep in touch. And the last time him and I had a crazy conversation was there in my studio when Ralph B. Stacey was still alive. Myself, Drayton Boss, and Ralph B. Stacey had a meeting in my studio before he passed away. Right there in my studio. What did Time say? I missed it. Cuzzo, what's up? Cuzzo said, ain't no peace. Ty said, ain't no peace in the next life if we leave chaos in this one. Thank you, Cuzzo. Thank you. Thank you. Listen, I know we have a lot of Christians here. I grew up as a Christian, but I studied the spirituality of Buddhism. And in Buddhism, we believe that in order to be human in the next life. Now, I'm not trying to turn y'all on to Buddhism. I'm just telling you the story of Buddhism. Okay? In Buddhism, we believe in the next life in order to be human is the greatest gift, to be human again. But in order to be human in the next life, you got to be good in this life, in this lifetime, or you're never going to be human. You might be reborn as a bug, a bird, a dog, a pig. The lowest form is a pig. Have you ever seen those animals that, let me tell you guys, certain stuff I see that really, it just makes me very curious as to certain things. Have you ever seen those animals that can talk? You guys can call it whatever you want to call it. Have you ever seen the cats that can sing? Have you seen it? When we were young, we didn't see that. But if you want to speak on reincarnation, you honestly don't think that that could be a possibility of reincarnation when you got animals that are talking? You got keeps calling me from Chicago. Why, I don't know. Please don't call me. Are you purposely doing this to disrupt my life? Why? I'll say this again. How many people have seen these dogs talk? How many people have seen dogs carry on human actions? Literally. Like dogs that actually operate and act like humans in their persona, the way they look at you, all that. How many people have seen that? How do you tell me how you explain that? I mean, I always tell people to explain that one to me. Explain that to me. In Buddhism, we believe in reincarnation. As a human is the highest. Somebody just text me from that Chicago number, Stony Paxton. Who are you texting me? Brother Ty said, my dog used to shake our hands. Yeah. Cuzzo. Ty said, my dog used to shake hands. Demi Nicole Young said, all the time, me and one of my best friends say that all the, what? Hold on. Demi Nicole said, all the time, me and one of my best friends say it all the time. Yes. Libra 61 Star says, I'm not a Buddhist, but I believe in reincarnation. Yeah, it's real. I mean, that's just my belief. It's real. Yeah. It's my belief that it's real. Because how do you explain, how else do you explain it? How else do you explain that, you guys? I'm just saying. I just think it's interesting that these animals are talking. You know what I mean? These animals are talking, and it's crazy. You got to learn to trust your intuition. Your intuition will never lie to you. It will never lie to you. Um, Libra Star said, even the Bible teaches reincarnation if you look for it. Yes. And I say this and people argue with me about that. Libra, people argue with me. Oh, no, I don't. I said, okay. I could even give them the passage and they still will tell me, no, it's not true. The Bible does speak of reincarnation because it happened. Elizabeth said, I follow my intuitions for everything. I do too, Elizabeth. Brother Time said, a dog can save your life and a dog can swim. A dog knows when it's going to rain. It knows when a thunderstorm is coming. I believe a dog is part human. Brother Time, you're onto something because I believe the same exact thing. They know things before it happens and they will actually give us warnings. DJ Bryce said, when Adam and Eve messed up, the animals stopped speaking to us. They can see angels and spiritual beings. DJ Brightside, that is a true fact. Chad Coffey says, Stone, when I think of animals, they appear in my life. If it's so cold, I keep manifesting animals. It's so odd. Sorry, she said, it's so odd. I keep manifesting animals. Oh, so you could like be somewhere and think about like a bird. Chad Coffey, you could think like about a bird and all of a sudden that bird will appear, huh? That's amazing. Cuzzo said, orphan conditions in cases where dogs appear to say words for rewards. Operant conditions, yeah. Yeah, it's like it's already in their DNA, but certain things will bring it out. Right, Cuzzo? Certain things, because it's already downloaded in their DNA. Chad Coffey say, not instant, but in time. I told my friend I wanted a black kitten and a Pharrell cat. I heard of those. Pharrell cat and 4 black kittens in my yard. That's one example. Oh, 4 black kittens just showed up in your yard? Listen, cats are interesting. Have you noticed cats? Here's the thing about cats. Cats either like you or they don't. Yeah, people say silly stuff. Yeah, you got them weird ones. Dogs either like you. I mean, cats either like you or they don't. If you ever want to know about a person, bring them around a cat. A cat is either gonna like you or they don't. They seem to be more spiritually in tune than dogs. Period. Yeah, real story. Cuzzo said yes, cause they also have congenitive associations. Dogs understanding and teaching to specific words or commands, not true speech, but language comprehension. Yeah, it is amazing how they understand, and they can understand like that. Chad Coffey said, yes, people say cats choose their owner. Yes, they do. Mama Sean said, I keep my dogs around me all the time. If they don't vibe with your energy, I have learned to watch them. Yes, because they know. Brother Time say, DJ, I understand what you were saying when you say they both messed up. But as a man, I think I speak for me. I believe Adam and Eve messed up. Adam was faithful to God. It would have been a different outcome if Adam was faithful to God, he said. Brother Time, that's deep. I didn't think about that, but that's true. Chad Coffee said, yes, cats have some kind of spiritual presence. Yes, they do. Jedi, what's up, Jedi? Bridget said, if my Yankees don't like you, which is seldom, I don't either. Ooh-wee. Nee Lee said, Unc, my job trying to make me a manager. I low-key don't want to do it. Should I just up the switch? If your job wants to make you manager, I'm going to be honest with you, nephew. Go ahead and do it. I mean, because you got to think now. Management opportunities don't come around every day. I would take it. I would take it. I would, because that's actually an honor. So if they want to make you a manager, I would actually take that opportunity. That says a lot about you. That means that they're watching you and they feel like you have leadership qualities. DJ Bryce said, time, facts, and beautiful women with food is my weakness. Hey, DJ Bryce, yeah. I'm with you, family. Napkins said, you're wise, brother. Napkins, thank you, family. I try to really walk and be who I say I am. No pun intended, but just really live by the soil, really live by the truth of the soil. Yeah, congrats, Neat. Congrats. That's a big step. Said, I don't want to, though, like my job, but I wouldn't I wouldn't want to be a manager. I know, but listen, look at it like this here. Let me give you some advice on the management thing. In your life, there's levels of graduation, right? Look at life like when you went to school and you were graduating from elementary to middle school to high school to college. Life is a graduation. Opportunity is a graduation to the next level. You never know where that management situation is going to lead you. And when you get management there, you can leave there and go to a bigger and better situation, and they'll look at that resume and say, oh, you used to be a manager for these many years. It is a graduation in life as far as you and your movement and what you're trying to do in the future. So I would think about it before I turn it down. And I know it comes with a lot of responsibility. And sometimes it might not come with that much more pay. But the position will come with opportunity in the future because of doing that will open up other doors. Cuzzo said, Ty said, interspecies communications, this is a broader scientific term for how animals like cats learn to communicate with humans. Cats have evolved to use vocal signals, especially meows, primarily to interact. Yes, they do. Hey, well, let's talk about the monkeys, man. The monkeys are sharp. But of course, we know they're closer to our DNA. Time said, I truly don't understand cats. They are so unpredictable. You can be loving them, and 2 seconds later, they are scratching. Yeah, cats. Let me tell you, you guys want to know what I compare cats to? Don't be upset with me. I compare cats to women. Men, are cats not like women? Do they not operate like women? 1 minute they're very happy, and next minute they're scratching you. Brother Time, brother Time, brother Time. Think about that. Cats are really operate like women. Ladies, no disrespect. Mama, Mama Sean say my dog also know how when my blood pressure drops while I sleep, they won't stop barking. Yeah, they pay attention. Yeah, think about it, the management, before you just say no to it. Just that's all I'm saying. Think about it. Trishella, what's up, Trishella Williams? Thank you for stopping in. It's good to see you. Brother DJ Bryce said birds are super. Yeah, birds these days, birds, man, they will fly on my balcony and look in my window and stare at me. Come back with 2 other birds. Brother Tyne said, for me, it depends on where the managing duty is. If you are a manager in a corporate, be careful. Corporate is a culprit business, cutthroat business, and the people around you would love to see you down your downfall. Congratulations. Time says congratulations. Hey, Elizabeth, you knew I were gonna. Hey, y'all can't tell me cats are not like women. Listen, if you meet a woman and she'll say to her girlfriend, "Girl, it's something about him. I just don't like him." Does not a cat. When a cat, you come into your friend's house, if a cat don't like you, he gonna take his ass in the other room and stare at you, sitting in the window. DJ Bright said cats are just like women. Then Dell Johnson said, yes, they move like sexy women and everything. Y'all. Dean Nicole said they call men cats. Yeah, cats with a K, though. As you know, that's the old school term. Like, what up, cat? That's with a K. Dean Nicole. They sly around and everything. Look, I done started something, y'all. Time said, DJ, I did not want to say that my brother, I didn't want to get it, I didn't want to get timed out, so I have to be politically correct. Trisha Williams say, great seeing you. Been crazy and busy. Yeah, because you've been gone for a minute. Trishelle, you've been gone a minute. I haven't seen you in a while. Libra 61 star says, animals are in tune with nature much more than we are. We have become too reliant on technology, which means, which removes us from the natural order of things. And yes, cats and women have a lot in common. Hey, Libra star, see? Hey, I respect cats. Brightside said, I gave a crow some stale pita chips. Took it to a puddle of water and let it marinate for a minute, then ate it. Yo, you see how smart these animals these days? They're reincarnations of us, man. Sweet Rain said, I have a squirrel that stays on my window and I have no idea why. He stares, squirrel that stays on my window, and I don't have any idea why. The neighbors feed this squirrel. I have a picture of this squirrel eating a whole slice. What? Cece said men are like dogs, messy, but women are like cats and clean up their mess. Hey, I knew Cece was going to get me on that. Ty Cuzzo said, but yes, it's not a bad thing that women have comparables to cats. No, it's not. Not at all. The bright side said, give a cat too much attention, they ignore you. Don't give a cat much attention, they be all over you, just like a woman. Hey, bright side. Yo, oh my God, I'm over here, man. Chad Carver said, Bridget can make a wild crow into a pet. Yes, birds will dip dry food in water. They're smart before eating it. Goofy example. I think they are intentionally feeding fish. Dean Nicole, you better stop it. Oh, I did see that video of the crab smoking cigarette. That kind of tripped me out. I saw that video. The crab was like, he was bringing it, and you saw the puff. Lindell said, put a cat on the MPC. Hey, Lindell, let me tell you something. My cat used to come in the studio when I would make music. I got an old video on YouTube somewhere, on this channel, on my channel somewhere. And you see the cat, when my song, the cat would do, I had a tabby. They're smart. So whenever I would play my music, the cat knew my voice, and he would go up to the speakers and look at the speaker and look at me. He knew it was me. He knew it was me, even when I was singing. Trishelle said, we all got laid off recently. I work for a tech software company job. Market has been tough, so I've been pushing and grinding. Miss having my time on. So I'm sorry. Blessings to you, Trishelle. Um, I know the bounce back is you're gonna be good, so don't even worry. Sweet Rain said, maybe that is my rocker ignores me because I give him also a lot of, yeah, you got to cut his attention off a little bit, balance it out. You're welcome, Trishelle. Cuzzo said, Ty said, good I caught you guys today. The town is so sad about the Hulkster. Oh, his beach shop is literally up the street from my home. People are so sad today. Yeah, there's mixed emotions about Hulk Hogan right now, you guys. There's a lot of black social media people that are not really happy about, just, the past things that he said. Everybody has a choice on how they feel. We got racist people every day. There's racist people at your store you go to. My thing is, I mean, you don't have to, if a person passes away, it's your choice. If you don't want to acknowledge that, that's on all of us. That's our choice. But there's racist people every day, everywhere we go, at our workplace. It's nothing new. But I do understand some of the things that some of our black content creators are saying. These black kids that believed in him, that looked up to him, and they feel like for him to have used those words the way he used it, and of course not wanting his daughter to, deal with a black man, a lot of black people felt betrayed. I had no personal interest in Hulk Hogan. I didn't have any expectations out of him, so there's no reason why I'm upset. See, my thing is, I think that this is normal. This is normal of a lot of white folks. It's normal. It's like it's nothing new. So I don't have any expectations. It's only time we get upset is when we have expectations out of people. I don't have any expectations. I never did out of Hulk. I like wrestling. Didn't matter if it was Junkyard Dog or Hulk Hogan. I had no expectations out of him, so I'm not disappointed. And when he said what he said, I wasn't even disappointed then because I expected that. See, when you expect something, it just is what it is. So I had not necessarily an opinion about it because we all know that it's wrong, but I wasn't so upset because I had no expectations out of him, so I wasn't getting myself bent out of shape. That's why I was able to do that video the way I did it the other day. I had no expectations. The same thing I expected from every other white person, I expected from him. And he showed that, so it wasn't a surprise. But it didn't mean that I couldn't say that, hey, that he should have gotten his just due. He worked for that. That's just my thoughts. And everybody has been racist on somebody. And I dare anybody to slide up in this comment section and say they haven't. We've all been racist against something or somebody. It didn't have to be a person of a different color. It could have been an opinion that you had against one group of people. We've all been racist against something or somebody. So I go off the concept of whoever's perfect, let them cast the first stone. If you've never done that, cast the first stone. We just have to learn to accept shit for the way it is. A racist person is going to be racist, and it is what it is. Nothing's going to change that until they want to change that. Ain't no need for me to fight and argue about, why this person did what they did. That person is gone. But it does not mean they did not earn the right to be respected in their field. I didn't say to be respected in the black community. I said in wrestling, that person deserved to be respected in wrestling. That's it. Now, whatever they got in the black community, they're not going to be respected. But in their field, as what they earn, they deserve to be respected in that field because they worked hard. They worked hard in that area, and they deserve to be respected only in what they worked hard to gain. I will not ask a black person to respect a racist. I will never do that. That's not me. But it doesn't mean I can't sit and talk about, what the person has accomplished and how they really earned that. And I will continue to say that person earned that. So, but, a lot of black people are in an uproar because he was racist and they didn't like it. But who's not racist? Let's do a percentage factor on how many white people we think are racist. But let's not just stop at white folks. We can go in many other races, and we could talk about the races that are, black people being the most hated on race. White people ain't the only ones that are racist. There's tons of people that are racist, and there's black people that's racist against white, light complexion black people, racist against dark skinned black people. We can keep going with this, and it's a never ending cycle of conversation on racism, you guys. Really, I'm just saying. There's cats in the hood that's racist over colors. This one over here don't like this color. That one don't like color. And it's caused rivals and situations, numbers. This gang is got a problem with this gang because they from a different set. You don't think that's a form of racism too? It's everywhere. We live by it, unfortunately. So I didn't want to make my conversation so much about his racism because everybody knew what he did. I came on to talk about what he had accomplished as a wrestler. And that's it. And if anybody wants to go and beat up on him, that's your choice. You can go live and you can go on your channel and you can talk bad about as much as you want. But on my channel, I'm going to talk about what I feel like I want to talk about. And so I didn't feel like I was wrong by, because I had a few people hit me up and I said, no, man, this is about this man's career, not about what he said. He's not the first person I done heard say that shit about black people. I've had white people say that shit right to my face. So it's not a surprise. And we should stop acting like this shit is a surprise. Like, whoa, this shit goes on every day. Boss Lady said, the less your expectations you have, the better of you are. I know I have said things in moments also that was wrong. We as blacks and other colors are racist. Also, thank you. Boss Lady, thank you for that. DJ Bryce said, I'm blunt, bronze, like Yahshua, Jesus' feet. DJ Bryce, I got me cracking up. Nia said, hey, Stone, sorry I'm late coming on here. I didn't know you went live. I was listening to my gospel music. Much love. Thank you, Nita. Yeah, I'm just sitting there. The conversation was about Johnny Kemp earlier, and I was watching. A good friend of mine sent me a video of the story about him passing, and I told him, I knew Johnny, and that his nephew lives here in Vegas, and Johnny Kemp's intuition told him not to go, not to even go, and he told Teddy Riley no twice. But he went against his intuition. And I was speaking of how we all have intuitions to do things or not. And a lot of us ignore that. That's God speaking to us. But a lot of us, for some reason, I don't know, will ignore what is given to us through a divine intervention, and we won't think nothing of it. When something is telling us don't go somewhere, we won't look at it and go, wait a minute, that's weird. Why do I keep feeling this way like I should not go? And he ignored what his spirit told him not to do. And henceforth, he ended up passing away before he should have. Because he put himself in a place where the universe, God, didn't want him to be. He put himself there. And how many of us have put ourselves in situations and then a car accident happens? How many of us have put ourselves in situations at a club and then all of a sudden something goes down and people are pow-powing in the club? Because we don't listen to the inner intuitions. God gives us discernment. Most of us don't listen. Chad said, my best friend is Mexican. When I was young and dumb, riding in a car with my Mexican friend, who was my best friend, I saw a Mexican guy I hated, and I said a racist comment about the guy. You see what Chad just said? See, and now, if you want to really curb racism, it really starts with us individually with stuff like that. If I get upset with a white person, I want to act like every white person I don't like. No, that's not right. If I get upset with an Asian person, I want to act like every Asian person I don't like. That's not right. If I get upset with a Mexican person, I want to act like every Mexican person I don't like. That's not the way it works. It's not the way it should be. Individuals are individuals. You can't hold every race accountable for one person in their race that fucks up. But accountability starts with us first understanding that racism starts right within here. That's why when people call me talking about other races, I do this. I say, I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear it. Because if I allow them to talk to me bad about a Mexican or a white person or Asian person, then what's to say that I won't allow other shit? It has to be stopped at the root. And the root is when people come to us wanting to talk about other races and we sit and we entertain that shit. You can't entertain it. You literally have to shut it off at the source. Because when you shut people like that off, it makes them understand that, oh shit, I can't come to stone with that negative stuff. And eventually they start feeling like maybe they're not going to be able to go to nobody. Maybe the next person's going to shut them down. And it causes them to have to start dealing with themselves and whatever is inside of them, whatever hatred, they'll have to start looking inside of themselves. But if you keep collaborating with it, it only fuels the fire. How many of us have been at your work and people want to tell the Polak joke? I've had my white buddies want to tell the Polak jokes. I don't even like, I said, nah, man, I don't even want to hear that shit. I've been at events and parties and gatherings. How many of you guys have been at work and somebody shared the Polak joke? I don't let them even share that shit. Lindell said, because people will not be quiet about it. And I like your music. Talk. Thank you, family, and let your music talk. Lindell, you're correct. So I speak through my music. Lindell has a point. That's one reason I speak through my music. Or I hold people accountable. Like, you can't call me and talk about, no, I don't care what culture it is. I'm not going to accept it. Because my family's mixed with all kinds of shit. So when you call me and you want to talk about, I'm holding you accountable. Like, I'm going to share a story with you. I have a lot of Vietnamese friends. One day I heard a Vietnamese friend of mine saying this to me. Said, I was at work and the black said this to me. The black said that. And I said, what you just say to me? I said, and so I didn't catch it at first. This person said, yeah, the black come in and the black said this and that. I was like, I'm not going to do that because the black. I say, the black. I said, what do you mean the black? Yeah, the black. And then she did this. The black. I say, black people? Yeah, the black. I say, don't say that shit. I say, is that how y'all Vietnamese talk to each other? You call black people the black? I say, you might as well say nigga. And I said this to the person. I said, I'm going to be honest with you. You might as well use the N-word. Because if you say the black to a black woman, she's probably going to try to drag you up and down that place you in front of. That's still derogatory because of the way that you're saying it. The black. You're making it sound like it's a virus or it's something very bad about it. And I said, whoever your Vietnamese friends are, if you guys are using that word, the black, please don't use it around black women. Especially black women. And I shared this with her. And I explained to her why. Say African American. Even say black ladies if you want. But don't say the black. It sounds so derogatory. So there's little things that We have to hold people accountable for it. Our friends in our circles, even our family members. If you really want to curb racism and you truly don't believe in it, it starts right here. It starts within you. Or it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It just means that if you're not trying to fight it that way, it just means that truly that we're all racism. If you're not trying to combat it that way, I'm just speaking in general facts. When was the last time you checked a friend for talking about another race? When was the last time you told them you didn't want to hear them talk about another race? Mm-hmm. That's where it starts, you guys. Libra said racism is taught. However, all races have stereotypes they can't get away from. It is what it is. Racism is taught. But you're missing the point in what I'm saying. That's a fact that it's taught. Any of us know that. Anybody that has a brain, if you don't know that, something's wrong with you. What I am saying is hold people accountable so it makes them aware of what they're doing. If you want to curb it, it starts with the smallest elements. It's being taught in the homes at a young age. I even explained the story about my first time I heard the N-word is when I went to my white friend's house and I couldn't come in the house. He said, wait at the door. And his grandfather said, who is that at the door? He said, Paxton. He said, that nigger. The first time I ever heard that word, and I ran home and told my aunt. The first time I heard it. So I know that it's taught because I watched my friend's grandfather teach him that. But what I'm saying is, how do you curb people into being aware of what they're doing on a regular basis? Yeah, Lindell. I have a song called, Lindell said, what color is everyone's blood? Listen, I have this song. It's called I Cut Just Like You. It's called, in that song, I say stuff like, you can disregard the color of my skin. I might release that. I did this song about 20 years ago. It says, I cut just like you. I bleed just like you. So you can disregard the color of my skin. And people, when somebody talks about them, don't turn around and instigate. And you can disregard the color of my skin. I think I'm gonna release that. Another part of the song says, you're not the only one that's educated and not the only one that has a dream. I'm trying to get my piece of this sweet American pie, but understand one thing. All people have their dreams. We don't have to live alike, but we have to learn how to live together. That's a song I wrote. It's called The Color of My Skin. I think I'm going to dig up in my old archives and just release that song to be released. And this song is incredible. It's an incredible song. And I wrote that probably about 20 years ago. Check this out. The first verse says, go to work on a Monday. Don't really want to be there. Overhear a conversation. They are taking our jobs. Soon they'll take our house. And maybe they'll marry our daughter. How could they believe? You're not the only one that's educated and not the only one that has a dream. I'm trying to get that piece of my sweet American pie. So understand one thing. All people have their dreams. We don't have to live alike, but we have to learn how to live together. Hey, I cut just like you. I bleed just like you. So you can disregard the color of my skin. That's a song I wrote. Oh, I'm going to play it when I find it, Tessie. Oh, that's Cece. Sorry. My apologies. I thought that's it. I'm reading names wrong. Cece, listen. When I find it, I'm going to play it because it's in my archive. But having this conversation made me think about it. I also wrote this song called, it's called Butterfly. And it talks about Black people won't have their real freedom until their next life. And it's called Butterfly. And this song is beautiful too. I have to pull those songs out and find them and play them, but they're incredible. Yeah, I don't know why I thought I saw Tessie in here, but she's not. Hey, Lisa. Uncle Trey. Oh, Uncle, what's that? Uncle Incel. Uncle Incel. Hey, Uncle Incel. It's a song, but it's crazy. Uncle Incel. I freestyled it, the whole song. But when I tell you this song, the lyrics are so, the lyrics are just so crazy, man. And I'm singing like crazy. Like it's not even, I didn't even mix it correct. But I think when I release it, I'm gonna just release a whole album called Stone Paxton the Vault, unreleased songs that just like demo songs that I just never finished. I think I'm gonna just release a whole um a whole project with like unfinished songs. I don't know. I don't know how people would take to that. I don't even know if people would like that, but I think I'm gonna do it just to show you my creative process when I'm working on songs and how they're not finished. Because I saw them release like these unfinished songs on Michael, and I thought that was interesting. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do like go through my catalog and find all these unreleased songs and just throw them out there as the unreleased catalog. But this song, oh man, the color of my skin. The song is so deep. Oh, Tessie is on here. I didn't see Tessie. I thought I saw her, but then I missed it. I just left perfume, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I'm reading what's name with Bootsy. Tonight we have the King's Record fundraiser with Bootsy also. Hey, Sweet Rain, if you run into Bootsy, mention my name. Say you know Stone Paxton and watch what Bootsy say. Say, I'm a friend of Stone Paxton and watch what Bootsy Collins say. Brother Tim, blessings, family. Yeah, there's Tessie right there. My beautiful people, you are loved and cherished, trying to catch everyone individually, but the chat is so fast. Yeah, you guys. Yeah, man. So, it's crazy. Lindell said, I have a lot of unfinished stuff, but didn't know what to do with it. Lay Lamar, Texas is in the house, you guys. Lay Lamar, welcome to the channel. Hopefully you become a subscriber of my channel. Please subscribe, like, and share, and stop in with us. We have fun here. We do all kinds of cool, fun stuff, conversations. Check out the live yesterday. I had a legendary writer, arranger, producer, Drayton Boss on here, who's produced and worked with a lot of different people in the industry. He's also a member of the R&B group As Yet. Go and check that out. Timothy said, I don't understand why God made me this way. I'm just a very light-skinned brother. Boss Lady say, Stone, do you realize how much we love spending time? Thank you, Boss Lady. Listen, I love spending time with you too. And Brother Tim, hold on. Brother Timothy, Soul Brother number one. That's the name we giving you, Soul Brother number one. Boss Lady, I thank you guys for spending your time with me on a Saturday. All the time. I thank you guys for spending time with me. Yes, Sweet Rain. Check it out. You'll love it. The interview was great. Scorpio came in. All my normal people come in and show love. Keep the channel going. Keep me going, you guys. And I love that. I love all you guys, man. The bright side says, Stone, you collab. I'd love to collab with a legend like you. P, you're a wonderful Stone. Thank you, P. The bright side, yeah, I do collab. Bright side, so this is what I do. Sometimes producers will send me tracks because even though I produce, sometimes I take other producers' tracks. They'll produce it, I'll write to it. So if you have tracks that you feel like something I would write to, send it. If I like it, I'll write to it, and you'll get producer, I'll get writer. You know what I'm saying? And I'll throw it on, or I might not put it on an album. If it fits like the album I'm doing, I'll put it on an album and I'll send you your royalty split. And it'll be produced by you and written by Stone Paxton, and we'll collab together and we'll win together. So I love working with everybody. I'm not, even though I produce, I'm not just like stuck on just me only, doing my stuff. I'll use other people's stuff. Long as the melodies are good and the rhythms are good, I'm on it. So whatever you got, email me, family. If I like it, I'll write to it and, you and I split it down the middle. Lay said, what days do you be on going lives? Mostly every day, Lay. Mostly every day, Lay. I go on mostly every day, Lay. And if not, I put a short on, but typically every day. Now, tomorrow's going to be a special day because I am going to have Gene Anderson, a.k.a. Poo Poo Man from the Parliament Funkadelic Live. He called me when I got off the live yesterday. I'm going to actually pick him up because he's older now. He's getting older. And you ever look up George Clinton in the Parliament, you Google Gene Anderson, a.k.a. Poo Poo Man. You always see him with George. He hasn't been out on tour for a minute. But I noticed, I don't know if he's been feeling good or not. And I need to get my legends on here and interview them because he hasn't been sounding good to me. So I'm picking him up tomorrow. I don't know if I'm gonna pre-record this and put it in 2 parts. But let me tell you what's special about him. This man has been in the industry since the 50s. He was involved with a lot of the inception of hip hop when it was created. There's so much about him. He was Red Fox's first artist. And any of us that have watched Sanford and Son, he was Red Fox's first artist. He's worked with Frank Sinatra. He's performed with all these legends in Vegas. He's from St. Louis, Missouri. But when I tell you he has a history with everybody, all the OGs in the business, his story is going to be incredible. And I can't wait to get him on because it's going to be crazy. I know I'm going to have to do 2 parts when I interview him because it's so much about him. And I'm just honored that he wants me to interview him. So I'm going to make sure I get that interview because I'm picking him up. I'm going to pick him up and bring him here and interview him. Or I might do the interview at his house. I got to see what he wants to do. So that's going to be tomorrow. Probably around, I might go on around 12 something because I told him, I told him I'd pick him up at 12. So this interview might be later, maybe around 2 or 3. But I will be interviewing him tomorrow. And it's going to be incredible. So we have fun here. I mean, if you look through some of my previous videos, we just have a good time. It's all about positivity here. We're not about the negative stuff. It's just all about high vibration. I'm a Buddhist. I'm about the high vibration. If it's negative, I don't want to have nothing to do with it. That's what we are here. Now, don't get me wrong. I've had to do here and there a few negative situations when people come on my channel trying to attack me. I've had to stand my ground and speak of these people. I had no choice. They put me in the position of having no choice but to do that. But 99%, this channel is about positivity. And I've gotten to where I don't even, like, if a person's talking about me online, I won't even respond anymore because that's just me giving energy to that person. So that's where I'm at now. I really will continue to avoid any kind of bull crap because I don't have time for it. It's too many hours in a day. It's not enough hours in a day. And my time is taken up writing songs, meeting with people, working on new concept ideas and things that I got to get out, like my documentary that I'm working on that might come out at the end of the year. It's just so much. I've been working on this documentary for 10 years, but I finally want to get it done. And other stuff that I have that I'm working on. You know what I mean? My documentary, my book. It's just a lot of stuff I'm working on. I don't have time to go back and forth with people on the internet. So this channel is 100% positive, and we're just about love here, man. That's everybody on here is about that love and respect. Elizabeth said, P. Leland was one of George's drummers that I dated for a few years in mid-90s. DJ Brightside said, your lives are encouraging and they light up the darkness. Keep shining, Stone. Thank you. Thank you, DJ Brightside. Elizabeth, my cousin was Sir Nose in the Parliament. So if you were around him at the time, do you remember Carlos? He used to bend his body and have the long nose on. That's my cousin. So I'm sure you met Carlos. Sweet Rain said, I agree. Never feeding trolls. Lay Lamar said, you never worked with an African artist before. I have. I distributed a few African artists out of Africa. I do. I've actually a few from Africa. One I'm still dealing with. I'm gonna ship him some equipment so he'll be able to finish his album because he's in some weird situations. So I have to ship him some of my older computers that are still current that he can still create his music. So yes, I do. I distributed a couple African artists. Yeah. So you remember my cousin Elizabeth Carlos McMurray? Yeah, you guys. So listen, listen. We get on here. We have a great time. Tomorrow's gonna be fun. Gene Anderson, aka Poo Poo Man. If you remember that video that George Clinton did with Ice Cube, together they did like this live performance. Poo Poo Man is there. You'll see him in the suit next to George. You'll see him in my music video. If you look at Happy People, he's the guy on the guitar. That's Gene Anderson, aka Poo Poo Man. Tomorrow he will be here hanging out. Stone Paxton Music and Life podcast, the couch, Stone Paxton Music and Life blog. Lay, thank you, Lay. Yes, Elizabeth. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Los, man. Listen, my cousin used to go with me back in the day when I would have shows. I got videos. When on this documentary, when you see my documentary, I don't know how I've been able to do this, but since I was a kid, I kept footage of everything that happened with my career. I don't know how I was able to do this, but somehow I was able to get somebody's video camera growing up. So you're going to see that footage. You're going to see Carlos in his documentary. He's one of my dancers back in the day when he was touring with Hammer and George. When he wasn't on the road, he would actually come and dance on the road with me. Lisa, you too, Lisa. I appreciate you. Yeah. So, man, listen, I love you guys, man. Happy Saturday. Check in with me tomorrow, probably like around. He gets here. I got to pick him up at 12. So I think I'll go live at 1:30 or 2 West Coast time. And Lee said, what does it take for an upcoming like me to work with you? Lay, Lay Lamar, are you a producer or are you an artist? Are you a producer or you an artist? If you're a producer, send me some tracks. I'll vibe with it and see what, I'll write to it. D. Nicole Young said you were vlogging back then. Yes, and there was a name for it back then. It wasn't even a name for it. I had no idea what I was doing. D. Nicole Young, I had no idea. But you're right. I was vlogging back then and didn't even know because they hadn't given it a name back then. When you see this footage, don't laugh at me, but it's funny. Timothy said, I love you, brother. I'm blessed to call you. I love you too, brother Timothy. Okay, so you looking for production or something? Let's talk. Email me. My moderators will put the email on there so I can call you and we'll chop it up and see how we can make something work, family. They'll put my email address on there and then email me. Is it Lee Lamar? Lee Lamar, email me and we'll connect. If I don't get right to you today, there it is, my email address right there. If I don't get right to you today, I will, but just send me your number and I'll call you and we'll figure it out, family. Boss lady say you're blessed, man, Stone, and that spirit you contain that makes you stone. Thank you. Hey, once again, boss lady, I'll say this. I'm definitely not perfect, but I am conscious of my moves in the proper way that I should treat people. That is a fact. I'm conscious of all my moves in the proper way of how I should treat everyone. And with that said, it allows me to operate every day with transparency with myself first so that I can be the best that I can be. And if I can be the best that I can be, then I'm going to be good to you because I'm good to myself. Marilee Mai, email me. Tag Marilee Mai, CC or Cambodian Mystique, tag with my email address. and contact me. Reach out to me. Send your number, Marilee, and I will hit you up, okay? Boss Lady, it's going to be 2 different books. It's going to be one of me talking about the music industry and another one talking about just everything as an independent artist and me. It's called, they wrote an article, this big UK magazine wrote an article up about me, and it was called, what I love about the writer, he called the article Stone Paxton Leaving No Stone Unturned. That's going to be the title of my book and the title of the documentary, Leaving No Stone Unturned, Stone Paxton. Elizabeth said, you are a light stone. Love you. Love you too, Elizabeth. Yeah, Marilee, make sure you email me. And then Lamar, email me with you guys' phone number, and I'll reach out to you guys, okay? If I don't hit you today, don't worry. I'll contact you, and we'll chop it up, and we'll piece it together and see how we can work together, okay? You're in Africa? It doesn't matter. I've distributed people from Africa, even while they were in Africa. So that doesn't matter. I'll show you how we can make it work, because I've distributed a lot of African artists. It's easy, okay? It's very easy. Sweet Rain said, you're very rare. Thank you for being such a wonderful light. Thank you, Sweet Rain. Thank you, Chef Vanna. Appreciate you. I appreciate all you guys. Peace and love. Enjoy your Saturday. Tomorrow, don't forget, Gene Anderson, a.k.a. Poo Poo Man from the Parliament Funkadelic, a.k.a. Red Fox First Artist, a.k.a. The Incredible. His legacy is just amazing. Wait till you hear his stories. We're going to go on. We're going to talk to Gene Anderson tomorrow. Stone Paxton Music and Life blog. Stone Paxton Music and Life podcast. The couch. I'll catch y'all tomorrow. Have a blessed Saturday. And remember, if your intuitions are telling you don't move, don't move. Talk to y'all. Take care.